Okay, so yesterday's mouse Pokemon wasn't exactly the best showing I've had on this channel. So we have to try another rodent, Morpeko. I don't know why we're trying Morpeko, but someone really hates me, I guess. Like and subscribe for more. If you if you hate me, I guess, I don't know. Like if you hate me, like if you like the content. Really, the line's getting pretty blurry here with who does and doesn't like the content at this point, considering the people who are great friends of the channel all really want to see me suffer, and that's fucked up. We're not gonna let them have it though. We're gonna make Morpeko into a broken Pokemon. So starting off, of course, we have Morpeko. This is Tera Fairy set. I figured Tera Fairy actually helps a lot with Morpeko's weaknesses, especially to things like the Urshifus. This unironically turns into an Urshifu check. Pre-Tera, obviously, you know, we can hit Urshifu pretty well with our electric moves, which we do have 2 of them, by the way. I do need to clarify that. So we have Aura Wheel and Thunder Punch, because I do actually need the electric move very much so on Morpeko. It's great for a lot of random Tera Flying Mons. It's great for Urshifu Rapid. It's great for really Ogerpon Wellspring as well, especially after we get an Aura Wheel boost. So it's pretty good. I need Thunder Punch though for whenever we're in Hangry mode. And ideally, if we're fighting a team that we need the dark typing for, we can actually go for the Tera Fairy on the Hangry mode and keep our dark stab on Aura Wheel. So we can still keep that. I did learn that actually mid-match. So this is more so for context for anyone who might be watching at home. If you Tera in the pre-Hangry form, you actually keep Aura Wheel as an electric move. Genuinely did not know that. Never came up in testing the team until the video. So you'll see that very immediately in the video, to be honest. Spoilers, I do Tera Morpeko once. But it's pretty cool. Actually, you can potentially ditch Thunder Punch for a dark type move if you prefer just tearing immediately and keeping that electric stab. But it's not a mon you should be expecting to Tera every game, but it has some matchups where it's kind of good. We have Ice Fang as well, just for coverage for ground types. And then we have Parting Shot as a nice momentum gainer. This is just Incineroar without Fake Out. And you could throw Fake Out on as well if you want. I just didn't feel like throwing it on. Clear Amulet's great for all the Intimidate. And overall, this mon just has max speed, max attack because we want to tire Urshifu. Now, for a Pokemon I'm going to spend a little bit less time on, let's talk about Tornadus, the most cliche mon I run on this channel. Mental Herb Tera Ghost, great for incoming Prankster Taunt or max speed to try and tie their Tornadus. We have Tailwind, Rain Dance, Bleakwind, and Taunt. Overall, just pretty good. Rain Dance, obviously, because we're running a Pokemon that's going to benefit a lot from it. I contemplated Rain Dance and Sunny Day. I think they both had a lot of merit on this team, but I decided to get my Photosynthesis boost elsewhere, and instead we're going to go with Rain Dance because it benefits my Scarf Urshifu-Rapid a lot. This is Tera Water Choice Scarf with the 36 attack for our attack bump with the Adamant Nature. The speed at 204 allows us to creep all the way up to max speed Dragapult, and the rest goes into bulk. Surging Strikes and Drain Punch are our primary stabs here, though Aqua Jet is still nice, especially for incoming Pokemon that might be faster than us, that still have Tailwind advantage. For example, this would be like a booster speed Flutter Mane on an opposing Tailwind team. We might just want to click Aqua Jet because then we can guarantee hit it before my opponent Tailwinds up and outpaces us. So there's definitely situations where Aqua Jet is pretty relevant. I feel like that a lot of people don't really sit down and think about why that is relevant, at least if they're just passively watching VGC. So I wanted to kind of explain that because I feel like I brush it over a lot. But overall, yeah, Urshifu-Rapid is still pretty good, and the Choice Scarf set is pretty terrifying in this particular team. It's great at clearing through a lot of ground types, especially in tandem with our next Pokemon, which is another ground type killer for our Morpeko, being Chien-Pao. Now, Chien-Pao will be great at enabling Morpeko's damage. This should hopefully help us boost the damage a lot more. We have Sucker Punch, which is great at revenging Pokemon like Flutter Mane that would pose a threat to Morpeko. We also have Sacred Sword, which is great at clearing through Incineroar, which while it doesn't pose a threat to Morpeko, we do have Clear Amulet, so therefore we are an Incineroar counter. At the same time, though, it's great at just clearing through Incineroar, which could be a really big hindrance for our next 2 Pokemon on the team at least. And then Ice Spinner is great. In hindsight, I should have went with Icicle Crash because I do have a Rillaboom on this team. But at the same time though, it's really just a 6th mon here, and Rillaboom was kind of a last second addition. You can go with Icicle Crash if you run this team at home. Again, that's another way where you can tweak the team at home if you want to. Spoilers, you probably should, but I just didn't for this video. It didn't really come up ever, it's fine. Max speed, max attack, just for hitting hard and fast as much as possible. Tera Ghost to get around fake out users. And then, yeah, it's a great enabler, especially for our next Pokemon being our Dragon Dance, Gouging Fire. With Heat Crash, Breaking Swipe, Dragon Dance, and Burning Bulwark, this proves to be a massive metagame threat. We're going to be max speed with an Adamant Nature because, again, it's the Pult number right there. We have an Adamant Nature with the 116 attack. This is great for our physical attack bump. The rest goes into bulk. This also means that we are Proto Attack, which is great to lean into damage. And the best part is that if we want to proc a Proto Speed instead, we just need to lead it against obvious intimidators like Incineroar, and then we get a nice Proto Speed for the matchup, which is great. Terra Grass is good around getting around things like the Rage Powder users such as Amoonguss, as well as just for Spore, allows us to completely eviscerate it and just set up on Amoonguss for free. And overall, this proves to be a very annoying Pokemon, and it's really, really good in the current format, and it's great at clearing through grasses for a Morpeko, though it resists electric. Finally, we have Rillaboom because it's great at supporting Morpeko pre-Tera, at weakening different ground types that are going for things like Earthquake and just physical ground moves. It's also great at clearing through faster mons like Urshifu, so we don't need to Tera it as much. And overall, it's just a great fake out user. Gets us some nice positioning and it's a good pivot as well. Our speed is going to creep around that Adamant Tyranitar mark because for some reason that's what all the dragons creep, even though Tyranitar is not that relevant right now. And overall, it's just a really prolific Pokemon. The round is going to be on screen here as well as with the team in the description below. And with that said, let's get into today's matches. All right, we're here today with another well, we're here with another mouse, to say the least. Yeah, technically we're using more mouse, not the good mouse. We're using technically actually it's probably more of like a rat. No, I feel like, I don't know, it's a rodent. We're using more rodent today. This is rodent week for like 2 days. Happy rodent week, guys. I don't know what I'm doing with this mod. Someone suggested it. I forget who suggested it. This one might have been a Nexus pick, but my god, it's a pick of all time. It's not Cacturn bad. This thing actually, weirdly enough, it's been kind of going apeshit on ladder, but like, my god. For lead, we're gonna go with Pao Fire. Pao Fire actually does a lot on lead realistically. The only thing that's kind of bad into it is Ogerpon. Actually no, I should just go with Pao Fu. No, actually I do like Pao Fire. I'll go back on that, specifically because I think that Pao Fire does give me a better line into Flutter Mane. And it is kind of like the one mon that, like, technically speaking, I feel like for most of this team, the better lead is Pao Shifu. But Flutter Mane will be coming this game, considering the fact that I am running 2 dark types and no fairy resist. It's coming to the match. So with that in mind, though, I should be preparing a line that can bully Flutter Mane, because it's typically a lead Pokemon. So we need Pao Fire. Incineroar, Flutter Mane, okay, perfect. See this? This is exactly what I was talking about here. We needed a lead that can bully Flutter. So Flutter Mane Incineroar does lead. I'm kind of okay with that. Intimidate's gonna suck a little bit. This is why Entei is just the better option on most teams. But I did like the presence that that Gouging Fire did bring here. One, it's a nice dragon type, and dragon types are typically really good to have right now. Fire just kind of topple through most teams, and I do think it fits this one really well. I kind of like the idea of popping Tera Ghost actually, and just going for Spinner into Flutter, you know, completely disrespecting the fuck out of the Incineroar. I think it's a pretty good option. And then meanwhile, I think I'm gonna go for a Dragon Dance. Actually, you know what? No. I am gonna Tera Ghost, but I'm gonna attack the Incineroar, and then I'm gonna go for a Dragon Dance here. This will catch any sort of protect on Flutter Mane in case they don't go for Fake Out, if maybe they're going for Parting Shot instead. I think it's a pretty realistic option that my opponent could go for, and I would rather not let them just completely get away with it, since some sort of like Protect or a Gleam even on Flutter with Tera Fairy would be kind of hard to deal with, and at -1 I'm not exactly going to break it confidently anyway. So I'd rather just get up my, yep, perfect, they go for Protect. So now I can actually properly punish their team. The Incineroar now has to take a Sacred Sword, which isn't going to deal the most damage, but it is damage nonetheless. It'll probably do about 40 to 60%, depending on the spread. If we were like Life Orb Stellar, I would have just clicked that plus like Breaking Swipe here. But yeah, we do about like 40%. That's actually really good though, because we can just avoid the Citrus Berry popping, which will actually make this a very useful Pokemon to KO with later on. The Tera Ghost also gives us essentially like a free get out of jail free card against the Incineroar as well. So I'm definitely pretty content with that. My opponent will probably go into Urshifu here. Nope, Rillaboom, okay. That's perfectly fine, because I can actually just go for the Burning Bulwark on that. And then, meanwhile, I can go for a Sucker Punch into Flutter Mane. Or, honestly, I can go for a Sucker Punch or Spinner. I'll go for Spinner into... I'm actually going to go for... I'm max speed on Chien-Pao, right? I'm just max speed. Yeah, I know, I'm max speed Pal, actually. I don't even need to check that. We're going to Spinner into the Rillaboom here. And then, meanwhile, I'm going to go for a Burning Bulwark here. Actually, I don't even need to Burning Bulwark. I could just Heat Crash the Flutter. I'm just going to Heat Crash Flutter. They're going to Fake Out. That's fine. I did contemplate protecting with Burning Bulwark for that, but at the same time, again, I mean, we're not really too scared, because if they're going to go for that instead of Glide into Pao, I keep my Focus Sash. And if they're going to dual target Pao, then I get a kill on Flutter at least. So I felt like that trade was a lot more valuable. Meanwhile, now, at the very least, I can get rid of the terrain, which is really huge for my opponent to have lost. That means that Rillaboom can no longer pick me off with the Focus Sash. We did see that the Flutter is outpacing us, though, which is good information, because that means that this has to be a speed tie. So I'm going to go for a Sucker Punch into the Flutter Mane, because it does not look like they're valuing their Tera. Meanwhile, I'm going to go for a Dragon Dance here, as I am anticipating... Actually, I'm just going to go for Heat Crash here. We're going to go for Heat Crash and Sucker Punch. We'll just take out the Flutter Mane, as most likely the Incineroar is going to come in. I doubt they go for Protect. They could go for Protect, to be fair. But I'm not exactly anticipating that they go for Protect this turn. I think they're just going to go for Gleam and then Hard into Incineroar to try and mitigate my damage into them, which I'm kind of okay with. I mean, they got my Incineroar, well, they got my Chien-Pao already to -2. They're going to get it to -3 very quickly. But at the very least, though, my Gouging Fire is only going to be -1, and it should still deal a ton of damage to their Flutter Mane, so I'm kind of okay with this. And realistically, even with the drops, unless they Tera Fairy, I doubt that they have any chance of surviving. So Sucker Punch is going to go off. That's probably going to do, yeah, a little less than I thought, but it's not too bad. Heat Crash will still deal a ton of damage, though. It's a very light Pokemon. Perfect, okay. Crit probably helped to there, in all honesty, but I don't know if it mattered. I mean, we're only -1, to be fair. And Gouging Fire just has such an egregious attack stat, I can't imagine that it was too big of an impact. This isn't a big deal, though. I can proceed to just go for... I can't lie, I kind of want to just Sucker Punch the Rillaboom. I could also switch here. No, I don't really like either of these Pokemon coming in hard. Yeah, I'm just going to Sucker Punch here. Get some... Actually, I'll go for... I could go for Dual Protect, actually. Dual Protect is not bad. Yeah, I'm going to go for Dual Protect here. Actually, no. No. We are going to go for Sucker Punch, and I'm going to go for Burning Bulwark. Nope. I'm actually just going to dual target the Rillaboom, in all honesty. If they fake out my my Gouging Fire, that's fine. Yep, okay, they're going to fake it out. That's perfectly okay. Rillaboom must still take a Sucker Punch. That's at least a little bit of chip after the grassy terrain recovery, so I'm okay with that. Meanwhile, I can bring in Morpeko now. And Morpeko can actually get off a pretty nice kill here into the Incineroar. Specifically after... I'm thinking that I'll probably go for a Heat Crash into the Rillaboom and then go for an Aura Wheel into that Incineroar spot. I think that should be pretty good for us. They're going to definitely go for a Glide here, and I kind of just have to accept that. But I'm not really feeling like bringing in my Urshifu to take that Glide, so we're going to go for this instead. Rillaboom will have to hard swap out to actually take that confidently, which, if they're going to swap out, their whole team besides Urshifu is going to... Actually, hold on. It was actually a better play. I think I actually just benefit more from dual targeting the Rillaboom with Heat Crash and Aura Wheel. Because if the Rillaboom is staying in like they are going to do, they have to take a Grassy Glide, which is fine. That Heat Crash will kill, and I can still Aura Wheel the Incineroar anyway. And if they swapped into Urshifu instead, I pick off the Urshifu, which is great for my endgame. So either way, I mean, I kind of keep benefit here. This Aura Wheel will go off. It's going to be Electric type, so it will actually deal some good damage to Incineroar. That's going to proc a Citrus Berry, but at the same time, though, we now have a Pokemon that can comp... Oh, they're not Citrus. That's really good for us, actually. That is super good information. That means they're probably Safety Goggles, actually. But my Morpeko is in now a really good state at this point. Because if I remember correctly, I think we Speed tie Urshifu. We Speed tie Scarf Urshifu. And that implies it's Jolly. They're not even going to bring Urshifu. They're going to go for Ogerpons. So Ogerpons is very fine here, actually. I don't mind the Ogerpons. We can take advantage of this very confidently, though. I'm going to proceed to go for a... Do I want to go for Parting Shot? I could go for Parting Shot, but a Grass move is still a fair click into me. I'm going to Thunder Punch into the Incineroar. And then I'm going to go for a Breaking Swipe this turn into both Pokemon. The combination of the two will definitely kill. They're going to Spiky Shield. That's perfect. That's a wasted opportunity right there that they're now going to give up to fucking Morpeko. Morpeko is now going to go unhinged here and just Ice Fang the fuck out of that spot. Or honestly, I could even just go for Breaking Swipe plus Aura Wheel and win the game that way. We're dropping Incineroar's attack though, and this plus Thunder Punch should just KO. Like, I know Morpeko isn't the strongest mon in the fucking format, but like, it's just good. This thing is doing good right now, and unless they have Grassy Glide, then they're kind of fucked, because they can't actually do anything to revenge my Morpeko. It's just gonna Aura Wheel plus Breaking Swipe combination for free until my opponent loses. In fact, I can actually just instead do one better. I'll Aura Wheel plus Dragon Dance in front of them, because they either have to take out my Morpeko, save the Ogerpon, which is gonna Tera. That was a very obvious Tera because they need the attack boost here because they're gonna get weakened otherwise by Breaking Swipe. So yeah, they can get an attack buff into my Ogerpon, into my Gouging Fire, sure. But I don't think they can kill is the issue because Gouging Fire has like really good Fizz Def and they're +1, yeah. But it's still a 4 times resisted hit if they're gonna go for Ivy Cudgel, which is the good move to click. And it's a 4 times resisted hit if they're gonna go for Horn Leech, which gets them a little bit of recovery, but it does no damage and no chance of crit. Meanwhile, Aura will probably do... Okay, actually it did more than I thought. I was gonna say it would probably do just under half. But you know what? Morpeko's kind of doing some good work. Meanwhile, they're gonna attack Gouging Fire, so Morpeko will actually get the kill, which is super funny. Because I'm just gonna go for Aura Wheel, because it's funnier to click here. And then I'm gonna click Breaking Swipe because I'm just gonna well, I'm not even gonna Breaking Swipe. No. I'm gonna click Aura Wheel plus Dragon Dance, and I'm gonna let Morpeko just claim its kill. The second that they kill my Morpeko, I'm fine with just killing with Gouging Fire, but I'm in a position where I can guarantee do it. And this will also preserve health on, like, just in case if they go for unnecessary spiky shields here to try and get recovery when they know they died of Aura Wheel. So you know what, we'll let Morpeko get the kill. Morpeko actually did a good job here. Already better than the other rodent, and I can't lie, that sentence I never thought would leave my mouth, because this is like a viable team we're fighting, and Morpeko of all things is actually like doing good work. Meanwhile, Mousehold could never have, though we got cheesed so hard with Mouse, so I don't blame Mouse for that. We'll see you guys in game number 2 though. All right, for game number 2, this is very flagrantly a weak armor Armarouge team. I refuse to believe that Prim Armarouge is not weak armor at this point, because otherwise you would just run Iron Crown. You don't need Iron Crown, Armarouge, Torkoal, Flutterman anymore. Iron Crown will just do the job better. Whatever the synergy is, it will do it better, unless you're looking for weak armor. So that's definitely like a flip turn Primarina, probably some sort of Trick Room route. Soft Trick Room route with like Primarina, Torkoal, Urshifu, etc. That's fine. That's fine. We're gonna lead off with Urshifu, and I kind of like the idea of going with Urshifu and, Chien-Pao and Gouging Fire here. I can bring Rillaboom in the back, because Rillaboom is a nice check to Prim if they do get up Trick Room. And then I can go with Morpeko. I think that's a good line. I could technically go with Urshifu as well. The issue being, though, is that Urshifu still has to worry about the sun. And while it will deal, like, real damage, stuff like Primarina, their own Urshifu, Torkoal, like, the combination of stuff, and also the very flagrant Tera Grass on Armarouge, all really kind of concern me. And I would rather just go with Rillaboom, which can at least clear their terrain if Pao dies, and they, like, really try and backline it well. My Dark type in this matchup is unironically Morpeko and Pao, though, and Pao will get cornered very quickly. So I'm not really looking forward to this one. I'm not gonna lie, it's a little grim. It's not terrible. I think there's definitely outs, but specifically the Armarouge endgame could actually exist against this team because my Dark types are too fucking frail. They're gonna flip turn on that Prim very immediately. Thankfully though, I have a good lead into this, and I could probably actually just dual target into the Armarouge as quickly as possible. They might ally switch, I'm kind of okay with that. But my play is always just to go for a... I feel like it's just a Sucker Punch into the Armarouge here. And then it's to go for a... Probably... No, not Tera. It's probably just to go for a Breaking Swipe here into the Armarouge. Because again, they're probably... I mean, even if... So they could go for like a Tera Fairy. I feel like that they're definitely not going to Tera though, because they want the weak armor and the weakness policy. We'll go for a Breaking Swipe. What the heck? Breaking Swipe should still be fine. They're gonna Protect. Okay. Protect is whatever. I won't act like it's a great turn to have to deal with this, because I basically just let the Prim get off scot-free thinking that they would go for the weak armor strats. They're probably trying to break Sash on Pao, which is fine. I think I still just go for the... Okay, I think I go for Protect on Pao, to be fair, and then I go for Breaking Swipe. I think that'll be much better. But this should still be a fine incoming next turn, because Gouging Fire will still deal a ton of damage at this point, especially with the Proto Attack. And it doesn't look like the Prim is Scarf. Well, actually, hold on. I might have missed a Scarf Prim there. They're going to switch out of Armarouge. That's fine. What are they actually bringing in, though? Like, what are they really bringing in here? They're going into Indeedee. Okay. Indeedee is whatever. I am going to switch out of the Pao into Rillaboom then, just to keep my Pao alive, because it is kind of nice here. And then Breaking Swipe will be something. I can just Heat Crash that on the following turn and beat set. So I'm not really too scared of the Prim anyway. I am kind of curious if they're going to try and preserve the Indeedee. I feel like that's a good play for them, but they're going to Gleam. Yeah, okay, so they're Scarf Prim. That's good to know. Thankfully, my Gouging Fire will take this hit, and the Indeedee should just drop on the following turn, so that's also very good for us. The Prim is still a little concerning. I won't act like it isn't. You know, we call a spade, whatever. I could also actually just go for the Burning Bulwark here, keep Prim alive. Well, not Prim alive, keep Gouging Fire alive. The issue is, though, is that actually, I have to Burning Bulwark in case they go for, like, a Helping Hand this turn. Because they could totally be fine with trying to just Helping Hand boost. So I need to actually punish the Primarina with my Rillaboom. Because if I go for Fake Out into that spot, the very obvious Choice Scarf Primarina spot, I can then just go for probably a Breaking Sword, well, probably a Dragon Dance, actually, more than anything. Because by going for Dragon Dance on this turn, I can actually continue to apply pressure to my opponent properly. They're not going to trigger him with Indeedee when they don't have their terrain up. That's just not something they're going to do. They're going to definitely swap. And I don't want to accidentally Heat Crash into the Armourouge if it is actually genuinely a Flame Body on a Flash Fire set. I don't know why that took so long to comment on. But yeah, I don't want to accidentally target into Flash Fire. And this also gives me a way to outpace the Primarina properly with Gouging Fire. So, all for it. We are going to Dragon Dance though. The Indeedee is definitely not going to go for Trick Room, as I said. I think they switch out here. I think they switch out right into Armourouge at this point, which is great because them going Armourouge just means that I get a very free U-turn plus, probably like a U-turn plus a Heat Crash, and I'll just go for the Primarina dual target. They're actually going to switch out a Primarina. Now that's interesting. That is definitely interesting because I can't imagine a world where they keep Indeedee alive of all things, but what do I know? We have at least scouted, yep, they are weak armor. That is perfectly fine, because they don't have the terrain advantage anymore. So I'm very okay with this. And then no matter what, I mean, I can honestly just go for Grassy Glide plus Dragon Dance again, and just keep on trying to scout for this. They're there for Gleam, that's fine. We actually take that very comfortably. Perfect, okay. So they're gonna keep gaining back health. I'm okay with that. We're gonna Grassy Glide into the Armourouge here though, just because it is a nice attack to go for. Even if they have like an armor cannon that they're gonna click, I'm kind of okay with that. Meanwhile, I'm going to go for another Dragon Dance. This is mostly in case if they switch it into Primarina here. I don't really want to let Primarina get in for free. Actually, no. I should always just go for U-turn here. Yeah, I'm going to go for U-turn here. And I'm going to go for a Heat Crash into the Armourouge. The Heat Crash into Armourouge should be fine. I outpace Prim now, so I'm not really too concerned. They're going to go for Follow Me. Okay. Follow Me is very okay, actually, because I'm going to just completely massacre the Indeedee still. And at least they won't have their own terrain either, which is kind of huge. Meanwhile, I can at least go into probably... So I feel like my option is Terraform Morpeko. I feel like Terraform Morpeko is unironically a route that I could go with. I'm kind of curious of how much damage we can actually do to my opponent. So we know that Pao is going to be... Well, not Pao. Armourouge is going to be faster than my Gouging Fire. So they could go for like a single target attack, which is kind of interesting. They do have some good options. Unironically, let me see how much damage Morpeko takes from Scarf Primarina. So Primarina versus Morpeko. Tera. We'll just pick a neutral typing. Gleam actually does nothing. Holy fuck, is that the right Pokemon? Why is Prim so weak? Oh, that's with Commander up. Okay. Gleam still doesn't kill for the record, but it just does more damage than I thought it did. Which I'm fine with. I'm gonna go for Tera Fairy, and I'm gonna go for the Aura Wheel right into the probably the Armourouge, in honesty, yeah. Because I think there's a good chance they just Expanding Force my Gouging Fire and try and take that out. Actually no, I'm gonna go for it into the Primarina, and I'm gonna go for Burning Bulwark here. I think it's kind of a little bit of a all or nothing sort of play, because they need to go for Gleam specifically, and then like protect an Armourouge, which I do think is the play. They're either gonna protect or they're gonna go for Expanding Force. I don't think there's really one or the other. But they're definitely going to try and take out my Gouging Fire before it gets off a kill on the Armourouge. I don't think that they try and preserve it. So with that in mind, I should try and preserve my Gouging Fire. It is a serious threat to my opponent's team. We're going to get the Burning Bulwark off, which means that they did not protect on the Armourouge. Now, I should still be fine as long as... Yep, perfect. As long as they go for the Psychic type move, I'm perfectly fine. I forgot that they do have Sword Power because they're weak armor, but that's okay. Because we are, meanwhile, going to boost our speed on Morpeko. We're going to get another very fast, threatening option here. And we're going to take out the Primarina in the process, which is all very good things. We're also going to get a nice Dark-type move. So I can probably just go for the attacks right into Armourouge, meanwhile. And them losing Primarina actually means that Pao is now a viable Pokemon again. So we're kind of doing some good damage here. They don't have a weakness policy popped either, which is very good because thankfully, again, they protected around me every time with the Dark moves. So the Sword Power damage will not be buffed yet. They're going to go into Urshifu single here. That's fine. My play is to honestly just... Why are we normal Aura Wheel? Oh, you know what? It's because we Terra'd. That's interesting, actually. I'm kind of okay with that, actually, because normal Aura Wheel will just be better for things like the Urshifu. So I'm going to go for that. I'm going to go for a Breaking Swipe here as well. And I'm just going to try and claim some damage. When we get Pao in on the following turn, that'll be really huge as well. But they can't be Scarf Urshifu, so they'd have to click Sucker Punch. Yep, Sucker Punch is going to go off. That doesn't kill, which is huge because that means that one of my attacks is going to land here. They go for Heat Wave. Okay, perfect. So Gouging Fire just barely takes this, which is very, very good. This is incredibly good for us. I can weaken the health on Urshifu, and then I can Sucker Punch into their Armourouge, which is great because it's now -4. That's really good because I can then proceed to go for a Sucker Punch into the... How do I want to play this? I feel like I have to actually Sucker Punch the Urshifu. There's a little bit of a 50-50 here, I can't lie. Because there is merit in like actually Sucker Punching that Urshifu down. Because if I Sucker Punch the Urshifu on the obvious Protect, I could at least get some chip on it. And then I think the play, if I did that, if I do actually go about the route of anticipating a Protect plus a Sucker Punch here. Actually, hold on. Do I really? No, they see a Dark type in front of them. I feel like they have to go for Protect here. If they don't, good play, honestly. Like, this is a true 50-50 turn. I think that my line is to get around Sucker Punch, though. So I go for Sucker Punch into the... really either Pokemon. I think it actually ends up being the Armourouge, and I go for Dragon Dance here. And then I can at least put them in a situation where... okay, they're going to go for Protect. That's fine. If they go for a not Sucker Punch here, then they win the match instantly. But I need to go for the Sucker Punch to avoid their Sucker Punch. And then... yep, perfect. Okay. So Sucker Punch and Dragon Dance play does seem to work right now. Meanwhile, I can then just proceed to go for Sucker Punch plus Breaking Swipe. And then Sucker Punch plus Breaking Swipe, or even Sucker Punch plus Burning Bulwark works. We're going to Sucker Punch the Armourouge, though. And then... yeah, we're going to Sucker Punch. And then I'm going to go for a... Breaking Swipe this turn. I'm gonna break the rule that I would usually go for and go for just an attack immediately after. I think that them knowing that they can never kill my Pao without going for Sucker Punch is a good play, and I think they might also just go for Protect plus like a fighting move into Pao, and I can take advantage of that, and I think that's how I win the match, with them banking on going for the Protect fail. Okay, so far we're doing good. Attack the Pao with a not Sucker Punch, and I think I win the match. I win the match if I do that. They're gonna Sucker Punch. No! Okay, fuck. That was a good play. That was a good play by my opponent, in all honesty. A really good play. If I Sacred Sworded into the Urshifu this turn, anticipating they might have done that, I think I won the match if I went for Sacred Sword plus, if I went for Sacred Sword plus, I might actually try and go for it. Fuck it. They could Sucker Punch me safely, and if they Sucker Punch, then they win. Yeah, okay, they go for Heat Wave. They go for, yeah, that was a good play by them. Unfortunate, because if I Sacred Sworded that last turn, I think I guarantee one, because I'm a Chien-Pao. Oh, fuck. Okay, you know what? That was a good game. I'm very okay with losing that game, in all honesty. We had a really solid showing. Yeah, no, fuck. I could have killed. Yeah, if I just went for the Sacred Sword there, I actually won the match, which I feel like I should have, but I'm okay with this. You know what? 1-1 with Morpeko is very, very respectable. No one can shame me in the comments. We got a good Morpeko win. We almost got 2 of them. So if you enjoyed and want to see more content like this, like and subscribe for more. Consider becoming a channel member for just a couple dollars a month. Of course, you get some nice bonus content on the channel. We'll have a members video going up when I get back from vacation, so be ready for that. Our current channel members, of course, are Zeke, Mia, Rasakura, Obo, Endless Gadgets, Josh K, Ultra Player, and Incog M. Thank you guys so much for your support, and I will see you guys in the next video. Until then, peace out, guys.